I would not guarantee that I'm back in a booth. I would not guarantee it.
Why is that?
You have to be. Just,
what? Fox had somebody review the game, like an old analyst. I don't even know if this can go on, but yeah, it can. Fuck it. So they had somebody like review the game. I get an email from somebody that's like,
you get like a grade.
Yeah, like a whole review, which I respect, by the way.
Yeah.
I appreciate that a company does that, and I would expect them to do that as well.
Yeah,
right? There's a lot of money on the line. But there's a lot of money on the line too.
Who's the reviewer?
I can't say his name. I feel like I can't say his name.
It's also great to get actual feedback instead of just wondering. I wonder if they like it.
Yeah, but feedback from a 60-year-old.
So hold on. That's exactly what happened.
Under 70 years old.
Hold on. That's exactly what happened though in the review. It was an old head. It was obviously an old head, and I had never heard of the guy before. And I get this review of my game.
In-house or was this public?
What do you mean?
Wait, did they just send it to you?
Was it sent out
just to me
just to you?
and the other and everybody else?
So it's in-house, but it's not going on Twitter.
Yeah. It was just in-house. And at the beginning of the game, so he reviewed it like as the game was going. He did it like a live review, and then we just got sent that thing, like his reactions.
Oh, okay.
At the beginning, he was not a fan. He was not a fan. He even wrote in there that it was a shtick and all this stuff. So I was immediately, his first sentence about me was like, he thought something bad about my shtick. And my first sentence is reading this. I'm like, well, I start doing research on that guy, right? So I start doing research. I don't even read the rest of the view. I just read the first sentence, and then I start doing research.
Who the fuck are you, man?
Just so I know if I should be upset or not about this, right?
Yeah.
Like, should I be upset about what he did?
I can't wait to hear off air.
Yeah, me too.
Go ahead.
I want to read the report card, honestly.
Anyways, so I go through the entire review thing or whatever, and he's saying things that I'm reading. I'm like, see, but I just don't see. So he follows up with a email right afterwards. It's like, can we do a phone call? Oh. So I call him. We have a conversation.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Okay, so now it's a phone conversation.
Okay.
But he said, hi. He introduced himself.
What's his name?
I just wanted to let you know. That I was the guy who sent the email. Did you see it? I was like, yeah, I saw it. He was like, I've been doing this for insert the amount of years that he's been doing it. Now they're asking me to review games. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, he's 68.
So he said, do you have any questions? First thing, I was trying to be as nice as possible because I assume this guy carries a little bit of weight of Fox, and he could probably tell or not. I was like, well, anytime you got somebody who's been in the game for a long time, I love hearing their knowledge. I'm very lucky to learn from people who have been in the game a long time.
Stroking them
I'm
a little
playing
bit.
the game.
Yeah.
I'm playing the game, right? I'm playing the game. So he goes, oh, okay, so let's go through it together then. And I was like, all right, if you would like to. And his first sentence, because the shtick line, right? He says the shtick line. And I go, all right, I got to stop you. So, and I couldn't take it. I said, this is every day, bro. This is not a shtick. This is literally me every single day. This seems like this is more a you problem than a me problem. There's literally nothing. I guess I could be a little bit more boring. I guess I could do that. I could turn it down if that's what we're looking for. And he goes, well, I saw you do WWF stuff. I'm like, well, they're WWE now. And,
oh boy, so we're going way over 70 then.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So I go, well, they're WWE now. He said, well, I saw you do some of that stuff. I was like, yeah. And they actually tell me, like, just don't be anybody other than
be you.
Like, I'm actually just being me on there. That is my critiquing notes from them is just do whatever the hell you want to do in the moment. So it's not a shtick. And he was like, okay, well, I'm sorry. I was like, don't worry about it. He was like, well, it seems like I've offended you. I was like, no, don't worry about it. It's just, I'm just letting you know you don't know me. It could be something you think. Right. And he was like, all right. And then we go through the whole game, and it was like a pretty good conversation after that. It was pretty good conversation.
Was it complimentary?
Good.
It was okay. There was a couple times where I was trying to keep the shots at him and how they choose to call games at a minimum. Because there was a couple times where he was telling me I should have said something different. I was like, yeah, I guess I could have said it in a much more boring fashion. But if you listen to the words, I actually did do some educating there if you actually listen.
That mentality is, Pat, the star is the game. The game will sell itself. And I'm here to tell you in 2018, guys, agree with me or not, it's 2019. I mean, close to 2018. So we're but the game, sure, it is a star, but you need personalities to push that game, whether it's the greatest game in NFL history or not. That's the format. That's the format that they keep. Hey, don't get in the way of the game. Just go up there and give out the stats.
I didn't even think about.
That's their mentality.
What you just said right there. I didn't even think about that in my head. I never even thought of that because whenever I'm watching the game and listening to them, I'm like, man, I feel like you can make the game.
Sure,
you can. So just like with Evan Fox, right? Whenever we talk about the way he makes videos and how we cut videos for the internet, the editor is an exclamation point to whatever said. I think the commentator is an exclamation point to the game.
Yeah.
Like I'm not the sentence. I am not the.
You push it forward.
That's a perfect way to put it.
I am not the. I am just the exclamation point. So if something's awesome, okay, let's go ahead and put an exclamation point in there. If it's a little dry, let's go ahead and put a ... in there. I'm just the punctuation in between sentences. In my head, I told him straight up that I think there's a different way to call games than the way you guys have been doing it.
I would bet $1,500, whatever, everything in my bank account that those Twitter accounts have never had something go like viral for something that the announcer is saying. If it's not like a egregious fuck up.
So
like,
I thought that too.
That never happens.
It
doesn't.
And that's why I'm saying you're going to be back in the booth.
I've got numerous calls though from people that
didn't like it, or
they were just like
they don't get it.
Yeah, exactly. These people are decision makers. These are decision makers that are like, well, it was definitely different. And I'm like,
that's
no
the point.
Shit.
Yeah,
it was. That's why I'm saying I don't know if I'll ever be back in the booth.
No, I want to look. I want to look at the ratings from every single 31-0 football game ever, and then look at those ones from the Packers Lions.
Hey,
I guarantee they're records.
I would like it to be known that I very much understand this is a team thing, right? Not just me, not just the guys in this room right now, because I did lean on you guys for a lot of facts. Like, I mean, Ty was sending me over some stats for me to do. It's a team thing, for real. For real. I got you guys helped me out a lot, but also the listeners of this show and the followers. I think they were. I think you guys went to work for me, man. I appreciate you guys.
My thing is, there's no way you don't. Somebody doesn't put you back in a booth.
I'm telling you,
there's never once.
There's no way.
The NFL's never once put out a highlight video of a fucking broadcaster.
Exactly.
That was another thing. So somebody who's not related to any network currently calls me and goes, I wonder what the NFL thinks. And I was like, I think they put out a highlight video, is what I said. I said they put out a highlight video of it. Well, that's the social. There's always like the social people that did that. It's like, what are we even fucking talking?
Let's do the same
company. Here's the thing.
I'm telling you, I don't think. I don't know if it's.
Hold on.
It might take a while because of all the old heads and the decision makers that are in place now. But the people behind that are pushing things like the social media aspect of the league, those are the future decision makers.
True.
And those are the people that you're.
Spoiler alert: he's going to call Thursday night games on Amazon. Okay, book that one, Johnny.
Like that.
Book.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
It'd be a bad gig.
See?
It'd be a bad gig.
See?
I'll tell you what.
That's
Amazon streaming Thursday nights. Book it. And if you're listening right now, which I know that you are, Bezos, I'm going to be calling. I am calling you in a minute because I've got the plan in place.
Is forward thinking.
Will you be nice though, instead of the way you handled the fucking?
Don't talk to him about the Wi-Fi. All right, Gorm?
Yeah, Bezos, we need Wi-Fi in the booth if he's going to do this.
I'm telling you, I think
that's the angle. That's
I think
it.
If they give me an opportunity, though, I'm gonna do well, and it's all because the team that I have with me. I mean, I got a good team with me, man.
You just got your opportunity. It's happening.
Yeah, and he just nailed it. The league is now expanding outside of the old school mainstream way of thinking.
I'll tell you what, why isn't Amazon? That is the move, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Same with YouTube.
Like over here, the more and more it starts click.
I'm going to go make calls right now. I'm out of here.
Because did they have all your season long?
Hold on. They have two females. You can add me into that. By the way, you can add me into that booth with them. And I would be.
Well, here's the other thing too. Amazon's doing it. How long does it take till YouTube starts doing the games too?
Guys, they'll have three different showings of the game with three different announcing crews. Amazon can do that. You can have your pick of who you want. Yes.
And also, I think it's kind of good that the old guy, we'll call him Jason Witten's dad. We'll just go by that. That he didn't like you in the beginning, but by the end, he throughout the game, he realized that it wasn't a shtick. It was just you being you, and by the end of it, he liked it.
By the way, I think that's why
the progression.
And by the way, let's not rule out that guy has some personality too. I think he wanted to go through it line by line because he knew by the end he was like enjoying it.
What was his name again?
I won't say it was cool though to kind of hear, because I felt like I was getting a glimpse inside the meetings that were happening behind closed doors about it, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's probably how multiple people feel. Like in the beginning, they're like, what is this shtick? But by the third, fourth quarter, you're like, oh shit, he's just...
This is DeQuell Jackson. This is exactly what this is. This is DeQuell Jackson, some of those people. DeQuell was just an old guy, quiet, leave me the fuck alone.
Beat up a pizza guy, didn't he?
Well... I think that guy took his spot, and that guy, I don't think
he asked for it.
Deserved it.
I don't think he completely beat him up either. I think it was a little bit of an overblown situation by the driver, but I mean, DeQuell explained the situation on our show one time.
Finger in the chest.
Thanks for it was like wasn't
bad, right?
It was a grab, a snatch. It was a snatch.
You know what? Tell John Madden that he's got an okay video.
Who?
John Madden.
You said
John Madden.
And Madden probably would have loved that.
Imagine me and Mandan in there.
If anybody of the old school people, Madden was the most outside the box.
Yeah, for sure.
The most creative. I mean, he would go on a rant, and people loved it.
We were talking about that. Anybody can do that has made their living wage by playing in that league, i.e. Pat McAfee in this case, John Madden as a coach. Anybody who tries to do it, like we talked about the other day, Dennis Miller, throw a comedian in there, Tony Kornheiser, it's not going to fly. If you did the blood on the field and the sweat on the field, you can say whatever the hell you want.
Well, and also I think a big part of this is, and it's something I cherish, to be honest, is I have a lot of respect amongst the players, as I call it.
That's important.
And that's a big deal because, A, they know I'm not trying to screw them, right? I'm going to say something like Stafford threw a ball wide. I said a little high and outside there.
Yeah.
Not blaming anybody. I have no idea whose fault it is. I'm just telling you what happened.
Yeah, he was wide open.
Yeah, he was 100% wide open. But it's just like I feel like there's a different way to do it. And we'll see. Whenever those production meetings happen before games, I would like to know what those are normally like. Mm-hmm. I would like to know what those are normally like versus...
Pretty boring.
That's what I'm saying.
Pretty boring, yeah.
Probably
boring.
Yeah, they showed him one time.
Joe Philbin laughing in that thing, man.
It should be, yeah.
It was a cool thing.
Fox showed Aikman and Buck doing it one time on TV. Like, so I think it was when Baker was on Thursday night or something like that.
So I think Buck wasn't there. Aikman was driving the conversation, and they showed him from the side.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah.
Well, the thing with you too is that even with Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, like older guys, with you, it's like when the players walk in, it's more like they loosen up a little bit. It's more of a friendly.
Well,
because they know I'm an idiot.
Exactly.
By the way, they know I'm an idiot. I said this yesterday on that Detroit podcast, which I guess does well. By the way, I've gotten a lot of love from up in Detroit from that podcast.
That was a hell of a 90 minutes you did. Right,
It was a good conversation.
Good Lord.
What was I about to say? Oh yeah, they asked me about my my interviewing, right? My interviewing, and they gave me some love on it. I was like, thank you. I took a lot of pride in that actually, and I honestly do believe that when people are talking to me, they're just like, this dude's a bigger idiot than I am. No matter what I say, this guy has done something dumber or whatever. So it kind of takes their wall.
Let their guard down.
Yeah, they let their guard
Well,
down.
and that's the other aspect of it is that although that is half of it, the other half of it is that you've done something way better and way greater than them because with the NFL,
Well, and also my NFL resume is a good one. Like it's like I think it helps. I think it all helps, man. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
The more and more people
Amazon,
under the age of 40 get exposed to an entertaining
idea.
booth along with the game, it's going.
What about when sports gambling happens, man?
Yeah.
What about when sports gambling is?
It's happening.
Just think, but hold on. Just think of the shit that. I'm so excited.
like the amount of doors as far as commentating goes.
You know how they have a
It's all
spotter?
over.
They have a spotter right now for players in the field. I'll be in the booth with you, and you'll be asking
Gambling.
for what the live line is right
yeah,
now.
how
Yes.
close are we?
Like,
Total tackles on every player, catches.
That's coming. I mean, those betting machines are coming to stadium.
Yeah, but
I just don't know what year it is, but it's going to be happening
there.
right under the eyes.
Just think about the ability to commentate that. Like, I don't know if you can learn about sports gambling from going to a broadcasting school. Mm-hmm. The only thing you can do is get real hot and hit a big drought, and you know everything about it.